HSP presents The Pulse. And now with your hosts, Dr. Quack and the important one, Mr. Mayhem. Mr. Mayhem.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to The Pulse. As you can see, Mr. Mayhem is not here, but you got me. You got Dr. Quack. And today, we have got an action-packed action show. We have what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about the Champion Showcase that's coming up here June 16th and 17th. Big event here. 6 promo feds coming together as one to promote Promo Unity. And I have some people backstage already. We're going to see who it is. First, we have the analyst himself, the legendary Promodonis, Rick Johnson. Rick, thank you for coming on here. And now we also have my boss, your boss, and everybody else's boss, talking about Bossolini.
We're having it.
And we have, we got somebody else that just came through. We have the promo artist that will be representing Heart and Soul against PPA. None other than that sass, that class, Mary Sue.
Howdy, boys.
Howdy, Mary Sue. And we have, it looks like, oh boy. Oh, we have one more here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Riggs' Worst Nightmare. Well, welcome, Riggs' Worst Nightmare.
What's up, everybody? There's one thing, though, I'm really disappointed I haven't heard yet. Boss, why haven't you said your line yet?
Buy my merch.
Thank you.
My merch. Oh,
you know, whenever you say that the sales for HSP goes up, and you didn't say it, so like I needed to make sure that HSP actually got some money. I'm sitting here looking at the books right now, and Riggs sales are down. Bossolini and the shot callers, their sales are going up, so it's actually looking good.
Well, we hear a bunch of garbage coming out of Riggs' Worst Nightmare over here, but you know, hey, that's what we got. We got the Paul.
Shut up, Quack.
But here, I want to ask first. I want to ask Mr. Brick Johnson, the promo Adonis. You know, this championship is coming together. It's needing you to be able to watch this and see it.
I can barely hear you. What was that again?
Can you hear?
Yeah, someone was yelling in the background, so I can hear now.
I'm just saying, what does it mean to see this come together, the Champion Showcase?
This has been a long time coming. I just feel like it's like that forbidden door is finally open, and it's been brought wide open from different places, but it's kind of nice to see like different threads come together as this unity as like something that you would see in like the territory days. And it's really nice to see that we can put on one big show and showcase other places that you don't have to be just at one place. You can promo other places, and this is the showcase to see all those talent, to see all those introductions into new places that you don't know, that you'd be like, huh, that's kind of interesting. And then you could go from there. Did everybody freeze?
Everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. I guess we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. experience. I want to talk to the two competitors that are on screen here. They're both going to be competing. First, I want to start with Bossolini. You got 2 matches here, not 1, but 2. How does this make you feel to be able to compete on such a big stage?
I mean, to be honest, every stage that the boss is on is a big stage. There are no small stages when you step into the promo world, when you're facing off against some of the best. And everywhere I've been facing off against some of the best people in the world. So this stage by itself, though, it makes it just that much better because you get to face off against people, and people from different feds get to see just how good you really are. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I heard about you, but I really don't think you're as good as some people say you are." And then you get on stage and you show them exactly how much of a threat you could be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your name could be the enforcer. So you are right on that.
So, Villain, what does this mean to you, being able to see this happen, see this coming down? What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, let's look at the organizations that are in this. You have the organization that, as much as people probably will say, is not the organization that started it all, but you have the Voice of Honor. Then you have, obviously, the HSP, WGP, FTW, a new up-and-coming group called the Foundation, and then, of course, we have PPA pulling up the rear. But this is literally history in the making. It sucks, yes, I'm not on it, but it's going to be enjoyable to watch when you have matches like Shot Callers versus the Highway Hell Losers, Heathen versus Big River, Mr. Wallace and Young Buck. And of course, I cannot forget Mary Sue beating up on Purge once again. The boringest match of the most boring match of the night is going to be Rig versus. It says 7, but I don't know which personality is going to come, so it's going to be boring. Bojack versus Hollywood's going to be a big, nice one too. Watch out for that. I'm actually thinking that's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, let me get to this here. I'm sorry. Let me get to this. Let me cut you off here because I want to get to Mary Sue. Mary Sue, you got to find out about this match. You're representing Heart and Soul Promotions to take on the Promo Performance Alliance, taking on Rig. You guys have met before. Is there a different game strategy here, or do you have something you want to tell the world without divulging too much?
Well, I'm not going to be telling anyone about my match, but I just want to know what he did how much he had to pay. Did he have to sue to get into this like, Villain did over here?
I didn't get into anything. I'm sitting here just talking.
There were contracts.
I'm talking about the gauntlet.
There was.
Oh.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
I still got lucky for getting number 8. It just sucks that you had Storyteller on a roll, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, how does it feel to be able to represent a company here like HSP? How does that feel for you?
Oh, I love doing it. The first time I was supposed to represent HSP, I was supposed to go against Purge. Not Purge, I'm sorry. The Heathen. But I was in the hospital. This time, that's not going to happen. I'm going to be representing Heart and Soul.
There we go. That's going to be a hell of a match there. Go ahead, Bill.
But honestly, how much pressure, and not trying to stir a pot up, but how much pressure does it honestly give you to have to represent an entire company against someone you've already beaten before, but also, to me, an organization that isn't or hasn't been to the level of VHSP? So how much pressure does that put onto you, Mary Sue?
I don't think it's too much pressure. I already beat him once. I can do it again.
Okay.
Okay.
I like the answer. I'm confident that you're going to be able to do it again. I just wanted stealing Promo Damas, whatever his name is over there. I'm trying to steal his job because apparently someone has to do an analyst's job and actually give informative questions. So I just needed to get that from you. I just wanted to definitely make sure.
Yeah, you're just
Boss,
talking shit,
got something
usually.
to say.
Man. Y'all kind of snippy today, ain't y'all?
I see it. I see it. A lot of tension building up, man. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's you give people a month to relax, and they're ready to fire up and go at people. I've seen it.
But see, one of the things about this is, Villain, you're gonna start talking down on the PPA. Because as soon as they have their next their next title match, when Bossellini walks away as their new champion, the PPA will go from here all the way up.
But see,
Just like that.
you are right. They don't have that caliber of talent to get there. They
But
need
they're getting there.
You go look at Bossellini, who's fighting in a fatal four-way for the PPA. I think that's quality talent.
Oh no, and that's what I'm saying. Him walking out champion is going to make that group soar a little bit. It's obviously still not going to get to the level of VOH or HSP. You may get it past FTW. You may get it past
I think until you
WGP.
can actually run a company, their Villain, you might need to shut your mouth on that part because it takes a lot
Are you
to
actually
run a
talking?
company.
Hold on.
It takes a lot for people to get behind a company, and that's where Bossellini's coming out with the reputation he has. He's helping bring it up to the next level, and that's where they're coming at. So until you can run a company,
if you haven't noticed what I was saying that's the only thing that's going to get them to that level is having Bossellini. I'm not saying that it's not going to. I'm just
they
saying
have
until
people
it
that are
happens.
established, and he's just helping boost it up. So before you criticize another company of them not being very good. I mean, we could say that about Foundation, even though they got good stars there, they're still brand new. So if you want to say that someone's lesser than another one, it could be the Foundation because they're still growing and stuff. So we can't really say anything bad about another company that's in this champion showcase. They're here to show themselves as well, just like.
So the best thing about me and you, I'll say what I want. You just sit there, shut up, don't say a word you're actually good at, and you just
I get paid to
to
be
what
here.
I say.
You just sit here and run your mouth and don't think anybody's going to comment back. Well, you know what? You got me this time.
I'm waiting for it. I really, you could sit there if you honestly just said you get paid to show up. So what you're saying is you get paid to sit there and lay down on the job and sit there and listen to everybody talk. So
when am
why
I
don't you be
laying
a good
down?
little boy
am I sitting
and
or what?
sit there and let me talk, make things more interesting, and you could just sit there.
All you want to do is talk down. You need to help bring these companies up.
I want to agree.
That's what the ratings for.
We're
here
now,
we analyze, but we also have to.
Rick, shut up! I'm trying to
bring
figure
it
out
up.
what Quack was talking
We also
about.
have to help rise up because this is something big. This is something that hasn't happened before.
Quack,
So if you're going to get behind
Quack,
something,
what are you trying to say?
get behind it instead of
Quack.
talking crap.
I'm not listening to him right now.
Keep going.
Quack, what were you talking about?
I'm just saying. I'm listening to you two go at it, and yeah, it is better than a Jerry Springer show with you two on here. But there's a lot of great people that are coming on. That no. Speaking of which, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The general manager of the VOH, Mr. Ed Lindsay.
You're doing this, people.
Logo.
That's Mary Sue. Rick's Worst Nightmare, Rick Johnson,
So-
and of course, Dr.
So,
Quack. How are you doing?
Mr. Edward Lindsay, I have a question for you, being one of the top guys in the VOH. How do you feel knowing that your organization that you help run is really the foundation of what the Champion Showcase is all about? Because no matter what anybody can say, everybody has ties to the VOH. So what does that mean to you?
I don't.
Because
There's
you're
actual
supposed to be
organizations that
homegrown.
don't.
There's some that don't.
There's some that do.
Yep.
I mean, now with that question being said, there are some groups and some organization that does not have a direct tie to the Voice of Honor. But with the VOH being one of the don't get mad at me, Mr. Haywood. I'm going to steal the name of your company for a minute. With the VOH being one of the foundation pieces in the promo world, you know, the influence that came from the VOH has spread around the promo world, you know, where people who were affiliated with the VOH have went on to other places. Some have went on to Heart and Soul. Some have went on to PPA.
Yep.
Some have went on to WGP. Some have even went on to the Foundation and FTW, among other feds, you know, the Revolutions and the PPFs, all these places. You know, the VOH does have a tie to them, if not with their leadership, at least with some of their promo artists.
Yeah, I mean,
And Mary Sue, I would love for you to come over to the VOH and have a match with them. You know, I have a nice promo artist in my group. Her name is Harley Havoc. I would love to give her a female to face off against.
That would be honestly a
That would be
great
interesting.
match to see.
Yeah.
Also
I
have
don't
a
know. I've
queen.
seen Harley Havoc, man. This will be a good fight to watch, but I don't know. Mary
Also got a
Sue's-
queen named Bossy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. How long has it been since we've seen Harley Havoc? It's been at least 6 months.
Yeah, you know, the thing is for Harley Havoc, it's hard to find competition that's bold enough to face Harley Havoc.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, because Harley Havoc, she does have an awesome backing per se. You know,
Mhm.
I would actually like to see a mixed tag match actually with her and part of her backing versus Mary Sue and part of Mary Sue's backing, because I know Mary Sue got some people that that's behind her and you know, backing her up. So I know I would love to see that match. But you know, that's up to
Well,
Mary Sue
why
and
don't
the
you
people
talk
that's behind
to Dr. Quack there? Maybe y'all can set it up.
Hey, I got a phone. Did you know that? I got one.
Is it a rotary one?
Oh, it's a real one. Oh, we got another guy on here, and I'm going
I
to bring
think-
him on. Ladies and
I think
gentlemen,
That's
the
something
young
that
guy,
we set up, Mary Sue.
Steve Fazoff.
Oh man.
her. Ooh, Mr. Young Gun.
What's
Mr.
up, Heart
Young.
and Soul? What's up? What's up? How we doing
So,
tonight?
so Mr.
What is
Young
going
Gun,
on?
coming off of Tuesday with Tin Man, about like we found out your first experience with a gun. Is that honestly really true, or was that just some make believe?
That was definitely something that was make believe.
I want to know that
Me
too.
personally,
You
I am
always
not a
believe
man
everything
of
that you see
violence
on the internet
anyway.
there, Dylan.
Hey, Brick, shut up. You're irrelevant right now. I'm trying to do your job for you.
Wow.
First off,
Settle
what we're not
down,
gonna do
boys.
is
Settle
we're not
down.
going to disrespect the best analyst in the game. That's what we're not
The best.
going
Thank
So you're
you.
so you're trying to say he's the best analyst in the game for saying maybe 5 words and then maybe not being able to watch a match and pretty much say, "Hey, I can't comment on it at this time." Wow.
You know,
That's
there's
not really
other things
great.
that I do than just being an analyst. I'm the executive assistant for Dr. Quack as well. So you got to remember, I do more than just analysts. So sit there,
Wait,
have your
hold on.
little orange
Hold on.
juice or your little Capri Sun.
Can you
sit
can
there
you
and
actually
shut
tell me
up.
the correct?
Let the other
correct-
people talk.
Can you actually tell me what the correct timeline is for matches? I think I even had to correct
Oh,
you,
boy.
special assistant, on that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on,
Anyways,
people.
go
This
ahead.
is not about inner bickering right now. This is about promoting a joint venture
He wants to sit there and
between
crap
6
on the stuff
federations.
instead of getting the ratings, instead of
Rick, hold on for a minute. Stop talking and listen. Right now, this is not about going back and forth with another person on the screen. If you're not in a match with them, your whole purpose is now to promote this awesome showcase between all these federations that are working together. So we can stop all the bickering, because that's been the problem in the promo world for far too long. Instead of working together, we're fighting each other. So if we can prove that we can work together, this circle that we in right now can grow. And that's what we're about right now. We're showing growth.
Agreed.
I mean, totally. I mean, a year ago, nobody would have thought this would have been possible. Nobody. You wouldn't have seen this. This is an awesome thing. It's just amazing how it's happening. I was like, wow, people were like, yeah, we want to join in on this. I was calling a bunch of people. People were calling me, and I was like, cool, let's do this.
promo unity.
And since we are talking about Champion Showcase, I do want to throw my hat in the ring, and I want to tell the people watching at home and the people on the screen 2 matches that I'm really, really looking forward to on that show.
Yeah,
so
what do
the
you
first
got?
one, all right, the first one's coming from WGP. It is a championship that me as a promo artist, I've had my eye on since going over and working over at WGP. It is their Havoc Championship. So we have Stump, BDS, Big Daddy Stump. That's one bad mother, shut your mouth. Going up against one of my bestest friends, one of my homeboys, one of my right-hand men in the promo game, the Vagabond. Now, I want you to pay close attention to the Vagabond, because when I say he is one of the most poetic promo artists out in the game today, that cat has a way with words that's smoother than butter. I mean, smoother than a baby's bottom after being changed. That man can spit. So that is one that I am on the lookout for. And another one I am on the lookout for. If you've been paying attention over in FTW, the New Generation, we've had a bit of a trilogy going on over there against my right-hand man once again, Mr. Wallace. Please do say the Mr., the FTW World Champion. And I call him my promo son because I birthed that man whole style, but he's really coming into his own. The Young Buck, Tyler Woodward. Now that will be the sleeper match, in my opinion, of the whole show. Because that kid, Tyler Woodward, I seen him when he was literally a young buck, a young pup in the promo game. Didn't have the confidence, the swagger, the bravado. Now he is starting to hit his stride. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he just won a championship over in PPA as well. So please be on the lookout for that kid as well. So those are 2 matches that I'm definitely.
I got a question to ask, though, Young Gun. I'm just curious because according to what I was told, if I'm not mistaken, is that title vacated now, the FTW Championship?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Because I saw the results and they were tied. How do you have a vacated? How did that come about? Do you know?
Now, that I am not too sure about. I would have to speak to FTW Board of Directors to really see what's going on with that. But I do know that they were tied, and the Board of Directors did decide to leave the championship vacated, even though it's still in the possession of Mr. Wallace. And to my knowledge, and being in this game as long as I've been, champion always retains. So that was a little bit of a wrinkle, but definitely I'm excited to see what unfolds from that show.
Yeah, because I mean that's going to be decided here. That is one title that's definitely going to be crowning a new champion.
So one thing I would like to point out real quick is if I remember right, the stump match that you were talking about, I believe that's actually this upcoming weekend. Winner will be going on to it's this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
And it's to go to Champion Showcase, if I remember right. And then I will have to honestly agree with you on the Young Buck versus Mr. Wallace. I actually think that could be having that right now, the way it looks like it's the main event of night one. I honestly think it could steal both nights overall. There is a couple matches I'm going to say that like Shot Callers versus Hellraisers. That's going to be.
There's a lot of big matches on this card.
It's if you have to sit here and try to go to Vegas and try to say, hey, where I'm going to put my money on any of these matches, like even Master of Illusion versus Big Sweet that actually kicks off the Champion Showcase, that's going to be an underrated match if you really honestly want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a match I've been looking forward to see because Big Sweet, yeah, I'll tell you, he throws pretty much a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Not many people can hit it. That's the way I look at him. He comes out strong. He'll make you look nice, and he'll knock you down real good. But Master of Illusions has those graphics. I wonder how that's going to come into play on this match.
Well, apparently, if you listen to Rig when he sits there.
Oh, you can continue out on that.
If you listen to Rig and when he hypes up and he talks about people who give all these edits and make things look pretty, there's multiple ways. There's no shame of having that. There's multiple ways of being able to do a promo. Some people can't just sit there and do bare bones. That's why it takes specific personnel to be able to do a bare bones match.
It does.
Or no holds barred, the death match, whatever match you're talking about, that doesn't involve editing. It takes special people to be able to do that.
But at the same time, it doesn't matter if you have special effects or not. If you can't put out the story that you're trying to tell with your words, you can have the best edits, you can have best whatever, but if your promo doesn't hit, doesn't land, that's the difference right there.
So Brick, don't interrupt me again. If I want you to talk, I'll shove my hand up your ass and I'll start moving your mouth, okay? What I'm trying to say is,
you can say about this. What did you say all about this?
I'm agreeing with him. I was giving my opinion on it. Wasn't trying to bicker with him. I was just
you interrupted.
You boys need to be in timeout.
Interrupted me as I was talking about it. What I was getting to was it also takes a specific set of skills to be able to sit there, do your edits, and still be able to tell the story like it should be. To me, that is probably one of the hardest things possible. There are promo artists like I know they're probably no longer in the universe that we live in, but you have the Mad Anarchies, the Mike Murders, who pretty much made a living off of those things and still be able to tell stories. So, as I was trying to say, it takes a specific set of skills to do both. And right now, the Master of Illusions is really good at telling a story and doing his edits.
Yeah.
Big Sweet, you don't need edits. People, knowing Big Sweet for a long time now, everyone wants to sit there and attack him for being lazy. But they take it for granted, and he pretty much could beat you down like Quack was what Quack was saying.
Yeah.
So this is going to be what's going to come out on top. Is it going to be the master of editing, or is it going to be hey, I'm pretty much going to tell you what I'm going to do and deal with it?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I will say this.
Young Gun.
Young Gun, no one can hear you.
Young Gun, nobody can hear you, bro.
I think he's talking to somebody else, maybe.
I don't know.
But I will say this. There's a lot of people and there's a lot of matches that I'm watching. But I'm gonna say this, like Master Illusion and Big Sweet. Big Sweet is a person that just with his words, he could tell a story. that you can visualize just off of what he's saying. Big Sweet has been a multiple-time champion in my federation. He's been a multiple-time champion in the VOH. He's been a champion almost everywhere he's been.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The man is great at what he does. And just like I'm going to watch that match, I'm watching a lot of these matches because there are some names that are on my radar. You know, like the matches coming out of WGP and FTW, there are some names that's on my radar. And the Young Buck is on my radar because I would love to see him in the Empire division. See if he can run in there and take Purge out and take the Empire title from Purge.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's some guys like the Era Reality, Vagabond, Mr. Wallace. Got to make sure you say the Mr. and the Young Gun. I would love to see them come over to run rampant in the tag division along with the single division. So I'm going to keep my eyes on these people. Mary Sue, I would love to see her come in and come over to the VOH and fight. See what she can do against some of these guys that we have over there. Some of these guys, these girls, I would love to see what they can do. And yes, I'm going to keep my eye on every match and every fed. Just like I think any GM would do, because they would want to see if maybe they can sign some of these personnel. You know, because there's names like Bossellini. I seen that guy. He's kind of good. You know, but the villain, even though he doesn't have a match, Riggs
got several matches over here. This is amazing.
I think it'd be interesting to see like Vagabond versus Storyteller in HSP. I think that'd be a really good match.
That'd be a sleeper if that were to be done. Another one that looks good is Heathen versus Big River as well.
Oh yeah, Big River. There's somebody, I'm telling you, he has really came along over the last year. If you've watched him promo, you can see the progression in him. But he's taking on a tough man like Heathen. Heathen's been around all over this promo world, holding titles in multiple places. He's a tough dude.
Well, I feel like he got better after he lost to Purge, yeah. And then once he collided and made a tag team with Rig, the Hellraisers, he's been on fire ever since. I mean, he's Incinerate champion. He's tag team champion. He's like champion somewhere else. He has like what, 3-4 titles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the thing is with this match, it's not just Heathen versus Big River. It is Heathen, the VOH Incinerary champion.
Yep.
Going against Big River, the VOH Excalibur champion.
Yeah. Big title. Whoa, what the? Everybody's dropping.
Internet, probably.
You know, but even with that, like looking at the matches, I would love to see. I can't wait to see the HSP title match where you have
That's a big one.
the Storyteller going head to head with the HSP champion A-List Alverson. Those two guys right there, I would love to see in any federation fight.
I will say this: if Storyteller has what he had during that Gauntlet match, that will even be a bigger match than just seeing the names on a piece of paper. It was just like, and Brick can also say it because we both went against Storyteller during the Gauntlet. It was just there was something right for Storyteller at that moment, and
he had it just right. He went through and like. He's like 8-0 right now, if you want to say it. Like he went through 8 people to get where he's at, or 7.
That was a match very intriguing to me because Bojack Grizz.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, he's an up and comer, but in some respects, he's an unknown. Going against Hollywood Haywood, you know, one of the higher ranking guys in the promo world, has held many titles. Now the current Soulfire. I mean, this is a 2-minute matchup versus the normal 4-minute matchup for most companies. This is going to be a challenge for Bojack. Do you think he can actually overcome this?
I will say.
Go ahead, Bill.
I will say this, and I'm not trying to disrespect Bojack. The way he came out, let's look what he did in the promo before coming into the Gauntlet when he went up against Dax Snow. He came out with fire, intensity. He made you believe that he should be in this match, into the gauntlet match. That he actually made people believe he was the dark horse to win the gauntlet. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, during the gauntlet match, it's like he decided, you know what, I'm going to take my foot off the gas. And then the only reason why he's in this match is because his name was drawn. Like, we could, like, even if it was like, okay, we could say if Brick's name was drawn or Villain's name was drawn, or like any of us, we were going to, no matter what, we're going to have that asterisk of we didn't really earn it because we technically had our name drawn because we all failed against Storyteller. But there is something different that what Bojack did, and it's he kind of, to me, took the foot off the gas, and I want to see that fire. I want to see the intensity, because if he has that, it's gonna be one hell of a match. If he doesn't, I can see Storyteller. I could see Hollywood just sit there and run over Bojack, because with Hollywood, you can't sit there and let your guard up. You can't sit there and try something new because you think it's going to work. You have to stick to your guns. You have to do what got you to that dance. And right now, him pulling back is not getting him to the dance. He needs to continue to push forward. That's going to be my key for Bojack. If he could push forward and continue to do what he did before going into the gauntlet, I think he has a great shot. But if he doesn't, I just don't see it.
No, actually, I weirdly agree with Villain on this one. I know we haven't seen eye to eye most of the night, and we've been bickering back and forth, but I actually kind of agree with him here. If he takes it off the gas, he's done for. We got to see how Bojack was before he comes out with the fire intensity. He's going to have a good chance of winning, because I feel like sometimes with Haywood too, he's better at the longer matches, but he knows what he's doing. He knows how to articulate the 2 minutes, and he can, if you're not on top of your game, he's going to mess you up.
You see that, Ed? Look, we finally got some promo unity out of them too.
I see that. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this, because a lot of people might not have paid attention, but Bojack Grizz rolls with a group. He doesn't roll solo.
Nope.
And the people that Bojack runs with just both had 2 very big wins this last Monday. And that will be the Highway Hellraisers, Rig and Heathen. Rig went head-to-head with Dr. Quack, and it was a match for the ages.
I had fun.
That is true.
And then Heathen went head-to-head with 7.
Anybody could practically go against 7.
Yeah, but
you said anybody could go against 7?
Yes.
7 is the longest reigning champion in BOH history. So can't anybody just go against 7? 7 is, as the enforcer, is the king of promos champion. The top champion of BOH has.
Yeah.
Is it really Enforcer that's the KOP, or is it the 7 gimmick itself? Because the last time I saw him, when he showed up, he wasn't the Enforcer. He was 7 itself, the insane clown, whatever personality he wanted to be for that moment.
Well, he's got 7 different personalities. You never know which one you're going to get. That's what makes it a tough challenge.
I think it's more like 8. It's more than 7 now. I've seen more than 7 versions of 7. So we may have to change his name to like 8, 10, whatever.
I mean, the longest reigning. He was the longest reigning Inferno champion. Yeah. Now he's the king of promos champion. He was Excalibur champion, tag team.
Very soon jumping in here. I
wasn't even talking shit about Rig this time.
I know you've been talking shit like the last few weeks now about Rig and 7.
But I wasn't this time. I wasn't talking. I was actually attacking 7.
Hold on.
So what I was trying to get to is, for Bojack Grizz, he has 2 guys that came off of very big matches, and they can say they can give him pointers on how to go into this match. Rig being the king of the third degree, the what they call him, the crazy ass white boy, heathen, who won the Incendiary title in 60 seconds.
That's impressive.
Not 120, but 60, which means he done it in half of the time that Hollywood did it in.
Yeah.
So I believe that those two guys can give the third member of the Highway Hellraisers enough pointers and tips that he can make this match a lot closer than anybody thinks. So I wouldn't sleep on Bojack Griggs.
So Mr. Lindsay, the question I have to pose to you then is, if you were in the shoes of Rig and Heathen before Bojack went into the gauntlet match, wouldn't you have already instilled that into him then, instead of waiting to praying that his name was going to get drawn into a championship opportunity? Wouldn't you have done it then? Because to me, it looked like he wanted to try something different, and it failed miserably.
Or where's
Now,
that
that could hopefully, now that he realized, hey, that this doesn't work, now he can go back to it. And I'm not saying that it's not like I'm saying Hollywood is just going to run wild over him. If, like I said, if he has the fire, he has that intensity, it's going to be one heck of a match. And I could honestly, if that version of Bojack shows up, I could honestly say that I feel like Bojack would win that match. But the way he showed up in possibly his biggest match in HSP to date, I don't know what he has done outside of HSP, and honestly, to me right now, that doesn't matter at this moment. But his biggest match in HSP to date, he thought it was the perfect time to sit there and try something different, and it obviously was not the best time to actually do it. I would have just stuck to, like, if I remember right, everyone after that match was praising the hell out of him.
No. I would say this. It's kind of hard to give somebody advice on stepping into a match when you don't know who you're going to face. There was 7 other people that he could have faced. He didn't know that the storyteller was going to be the person that he was going to face.
Right.
So it's hard to prepare for a match when you're going in blind.
Yeah.
Well, but like I see where you're going with that. Like, heck, I had to wait till number 8 to go, and like I don't remember where he was. Quack, do you remember where Bojack ended up going?
Bojack, I believe, was 5th or 6th.
Okay, so he actually had to. He actually sat like, and I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't like. What I did was I stuck to what I normally do. Now, me and him both had the same mistake. We both left so much time on that clock, but he had the same opportunity I did. He watched, even though he didn't know when he was going to get in there. He knew at that point, no matter where he was going, it was more than likely against Storyteller. So he was able to see it. Hey, Storytellers can dial it forward and pretty much attack you, and then be soft-spoken and play a little bit of defense at the same time. It was like,
well, I'm going to have to cut you off here, because right now we're getting ready to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have some final thoughts. On June 16th and 17th, 6 companies come out promoting 6 companies come out to show why they're the best. Welcome to the Champion Showcase.
Well, hello, HSP. It's me, your one and only humble storyteller. I've got a few things I want to say. First off, how you doing? You doing good? Good. That's good. And secondly, Alverson. Oh, Mr. Alverson. What you doing? Where you at? You got anything to say? You know, I can only assume that you're not taking this seriously. And that's the first and one and only mistake that you make that I'll need to win. Because I knew that this road back to gold was going to be a long and arduous one, and it has been. Do you know the lengths I had to go to get back here at you? Nah, you're just up there on the mountain, shining your gold up, and not paying attention to the man that is climbing and clawing his way up to meet you. You know, just out of curiosity, I did the math. Once you factor in all the variables of the gauntlet match, do you know what chance I had of pulling off what I did? I'll not bore you with the equations, but let's just say you stand a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice or winning the Powerball. 1 in 2.4 billion. Billion. You know, some people have taken notice. Thank you, Haywood, for acknowledging my feat. Thank you, Hodgson. But there's still a few people out there that just don't seem to get it. You put some respect on my name before it leaves your lips. Because there are still some of you out there who doubt me. I am striving for perfection, Alverson. So you better do the same. I am the storyteller. A-list Alverson is lame, and I have a tale to tell.
Well, some strong words there from the storyteller. Boss, Ed, do you have any thoughts there?
I mean, now I will say this because Storyteller was once part of the BLH. Actually, still currently part of my roster. So Storyteller has a lot of fight. I've watched the Storyteller as he has evolved, and with him being the first ever Pure Heart champion. Hope I got your title right this time. From being the first ever champion, and has held it as long as he has, and to do the feat of running that entire gauntlet, I would not be surprised if he gave A-List a run for his money that people have been waiting to see someone give. So it's going to be a very interesting match, and I can't wait to see.
Okay. Villain, I think he was talking to you. Were you one of those people that was criticizing him during that gauntlet run?
Actually, no, I was not. I was actually, even though I was the last person, throughout the entire time sitting back there waiting, it was impressive to watch. Now, I do actually have an issue with one thing that he said. He was talking about percentages and stuff. He actually had the best odds anyway, because no matter how it looked, he came out number 2, which meant he never had to worry about going first at all. So could that be, I'm not going to sit here and try to speculate if that was a difference, because what he had that night was special. And I have to agree with Mr. Lindsay on this one. If he has that same fire, that he has that same driven goal, which right now it looks like he does, I could see him giving A-List a run for his money. I could see him being the first two-time champion in the HSP. So I'm not one of the ones that sat here and pretty much criticized what he did. What he had was special, and it's going to be amazing to see. But let's all remember, he never had to finish. He never had to go first in the promo.
Okay, Brick, do you have any thoughts on that?
Actually, I do. I mean, I agree with both of them. He could give, A-List run for his money, but at the same time, it's A-List. You never know what he's going to come at you. He's always doing something different every time. The only person he's lost to is our Pure Heart champion, and that was Haywood. That's the only person he's lost to in single competition. He came back, he won the number one contender, then he won the title, and he's defended it. So it's really going to be an interesting match.
It will.
I think it's going to be, one for the ages. So it's too close to tell.
Let's go into final thoughts here. I'm going to start with
before we do that. I saw a comment saying something about Villain being nice again. I feel like Cody over there. I feel like someone needs to give him his bottle again, because
that
he obviously does not know.
Would be Mary Sue there.
Oh, that was Mary Sue. Oh, I can't say nothing mean about Mary Sue.
Go ahead, Bill. Give us some final thoughts here before we take her home.
The Champion Showcase is going to be historic. Going from the first match to the match that closes out night 2, which is going to be Storyteller versus A-List. It will be historic. It's going to be fun to watch. Oh, it was Mary Sue. Yeah, like I said, Mary Sue, I can't say anything mean about you. We have some matches that we've seen in the past. Hopefully they live up to what the first one, or however many they were. Hopefully live up to the previous ones. It's going to be great. I'm actually excited to see what ends up happening for both nights.
All right. Brick Johnson, go ahead. Give your final thoughts.
We have 2 big days. It's going to be a very historical, seeing every promo fed out there. These are the best of the best that we're seeing. And, everybody's going to rise up. And this is going to give new stock or race stock in every promo. And this promo unity is one for the ages. So
I saw Heathen say buy his merch. If it was the other half of that team, I'd say no. But yeah, buy Heathen's merch.
Ed, you want to take us home here? Give us some final thoughts here towards the Champion Showcase.
6 companies coming together to work as one. No one would have believed that it was going to happen. You have champions working multiple matches. I believe, if I'm not correct, maybe every HSP champion is working double duty.
You are right. I think they're split on both days too. So it's not like you get 2 matches in a row.
With this going on, like they said, it's a champion showcase. You get to see champions from every federation. You get to see people from 6 different federations on the screen, on the same screen, on the same night. And they're going to show you why their federation is as good as they are. Why their federation is growing to the potential that they have. I'm listening. I was listening to some of these guys earlier. The Young Gun. Heathen said he's running something. I want to see what you're going to do in your Want to see your two? Matter of fact, you got 3 matches.
3.
Yeah, he has 3.
You got 2 tag title matches, and then a champion versus champion match, and a match like that. Just look at that. Him and Rig have 3 matches apiece, and they're out there to show you why they are champions. You got Aiden, who has 2 matches, who's going to show why he's a champion. Hollywood with 2 matches showing why he's a champion. I believe Blackheart has a match where he's isn't he defending the title? Or just being Blackheart? Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you.
I do not know which one's defending the title.
But
which one? I'm sorry, Blackheart and Marcel. Blackheart is the champion.
Yeah, so Blackheart defending the title. You got Purge, the Empire champion, going head to head with Mary Stu. Please don't sing Tiny Dancer, Brick. But you have the man that's out there talking Landfill, looking to defend his tag titles. Him and his partner. What is that dude's name? The Prodigy, Dax Snow. They're looking to defend those BOH tag team titles against the Highway Hellraisers. Yeah. There's not a match on this card that I can call a bathroom break.
No.
So I'm going to tell you, you watch this show. You said there's a bathroom break match?
No, there isn't. There is not a bathroom break.
Oh no, I see King of Shit Talk his finger.
Yeah.
Up.
No, what I was going to say is we were talking about the Highway Hellraisers and Heathen having 3 matches. He has back-to-back matches in night 1. He goes straight from going against probably one of the hottest tag teams that's not known, the Highway Hellraisers, in the Shot Callers, and then goes straight into a match versus Big River right after that.
Yeah. There's a little intermission in there, but yeah, I mean, definitely. He's got some strong matches there.
That is insane.
Speaking of the devil, look who came in at the last minute. We're going to get his final thoughts, and then we're going to go out of here because I'm going to let Heathen have the floor.
Woo.
I couldn't just sit back and listen to everybody bringing my name up and not show up. It's the showcase, as I said just a few minutes ago in the comments, the Hellraisers are running the showcase and proving why we are the top faction anywhere. So I hope a lot of you watch the showcase as we step out, me, myself, and my brother Rig step out and do what we do best and dominate.
So with that, Heathen, I noticed you mentioned you and your brother Rig. What about the third member of your team?
That's a good point.
How do you feel he's going to do in his match?
Let's just say me and Rig are watching BoJack Grizz versus Hollywood Haywood extremely close. And we're more than confident that he's going to get the job done. But anything can happen. Any given promo.
Very true.
So,
Mr. Heathen,
what?
Mr. Heathen, I do have a question for you. What is your? Do you have a response to your other opponent, Big River?
Sorry, trying to be serious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you laugh.
Oh, I mean, I came in when I started my promo career. I started about the same time River did. And
an hour later.
What?
Oh, I think somebody you recognize, ladies and gentlemen. Landfill.
You just think you're going to run a show.
Well,
When HDR is going to be standing in your way.
and who might that be, Cupcake?
One half of the BOH Tag Team Champions.
Oh, if I only had
Talking to one half of the Hard Low Tag Champions. This is awesome.
If I only had $1 for every time I've heard somebody say, I got your number, I'm coming for you, just keep lining them up and we're just going to keep shooting them down. So, I mean, what else do you really have to offer? I mean, when we take those and add those to the collection, what are you going to say then?
Hey, Heath, can you show that beautiful HSP tag title? I can't see it.
I would love to. I would love to, because it is just a privilege to show this one off anytime I can.
Both some pretty titles, I'll tell you. The VOH tag team titles.
Oh, trust me, they're going to look just as good, one hanging on one shoulder and the other one hanging on the other.
Heathen, I hate to bust your bubble, but let me let you in on a little something. And not to plug this, but why not let me plug it? Once I beat you on the 4th and kick you out of that championship tournament in the foundation, I'm going to go into the championship showcase where the HGR is going to defeat the Highway Hellraisers. And then we're coming for them Heart and Soul Promotions tag team titles and rip them off your shoulder too. How about them apples, Jack?
So,
well, honestly,
Mr.
I never
Landfill.
was a fan of apples, but if you think you're beating me, you done fell off the stupid tree and hit every branch on the way down.
God.
So, Mr. Landfill, listening to what you said, you're saying that the Highway Hellraisers are going to lose to y'all, but they're going to beat the shot callers.
Well, that's if they can get past the shot callers. You can't blow past that match. So
let me just put this out there right now. The Highway Hellraisers will be the only two sumbitches that can walk into the showcase, maybe lose a couple belts, and still walk out with 2 belts. So, I mean, really, it's a win-win situation for us either way.
You could be going
to walk in and lose everything.
Yeah.
Now,
that's a possibility. You could gain everything.
Well, they can't lose everything.
Not the Incinerator. You can't lose that one.
Because he'll still walk away as the Incinerate champion, and Rig will still walk away as the Inferno champion. So
there you go. Yes.
I mean, did we or did we not just prove that point at the Inferno show when not only I retained the Incendiary, but Rig also retained the Inferno?
Well, the only reason why that happened is because Landfill's busy elsewhere, and you didn't have to go against Landfill for the Incendiary Championship. And Landfill is already the Inferno champion, so.
Let me just put it to you like this, Bo. When I verbally smack you in the mouth and put you in your place, and then you finally realize that the Heathen is going to be the best in the business, the Highway Hellraisers are going to be the faction among factions before it's all said and done. You just ain't realized that. I can understand you're in a little bit of denial. So I'll be happy to smack you into reality come the 4th.
What was some of the words that you said to me during one of your hype promos?
Oh.
Landfill is a living legend, and I'm going to remind you just why I am.
Now, Landfill, I'm not going to be one that's going to usually defend the Highway Hellraisers, but one thing I'm going to have to tell you is this. They have called their shots time and time again, and they pretty much were like prophets. Now, we all know me and Rig, we don't see eye to eye, but if
maybe that'll put things into perspective for you just a little bit.
Folks, we're out of time here. We're getting ready to take it home.
Just look at what he's doing.
I'm Dr. Quack, and we'll see you all then.
Buy my merch.
I'm not